Hey, good morning. Happy new week to you. Happy new day. Happy Sunday. This is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated, where I am known as your procrastination strategist, behavior change expert. I help you to build unshakable confidence. Stop procrastinating. You got it. Get your dreams out of your head into your life. Good morning, Dorothy. Thank you so much for joining. I pray that you all are off to an amazing start to this new week. Even though it is early, I have already gotten my day started, getting ready to do what I do. And I pray that you're doing the same thing. So, you see what the title of this live feed is. And it simply says, don't live a life of regrets. Do not live a life of regrets. And how do we do that? A lot of times, I'm going to tell you, because we're not going to be on here long. A lot of times when we live or we hear about a life of regrets, it's not that we regret. Good morning, Geraldine. Thank you so much for joining. It's not that we regret most of the times the things that we did, but it's the things that we didn't do. Did you hear me? It's not most of the times the things that we did. We may have a little remorse about what we did. And sometimes, we may feel a little bad about what we did, but we would even take the bad and say, at least I tried it. Good morning, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining. When most people have regrets, it's what they didn't do. It is what they didn't do. When people are, when people are on their last breaths, a lot of times they wish they had a little more time to do X, Y, Z. They don't live there thinking, they repent and all that is in place. But, a lot of times people are not laying there thinking that, I wish I didn't do. I wish I didn't do. They're looking and thinking, I wish I had a little bit more time to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. They are regretting the things that they didn't do. Even as you get up in age, a lot of people regret the things that they didn't do, the experiences that they didn't have. Good morning, LJ Crawford. Thank you so much for joining. A lot of times we don't regret the things that we tried and failed, and you have your feelings about that. You have your thoughts about that. You have your lessons you learned about the things you tried, but regrets are mostly birthed through not doing, not experiencing, not following our minds, not taking the time to do it, not making the memories. So don't live a life of regrets. Try what you need to try. And if it don't work, it's not the end of the world. But I don't know a wealthy person. I don't know a happy person. I don't know a person that I have studied that have not tried things that did not work. And we think that when we try things, that everything got to work out perfectly, that everything got to work and fit jointly together, that everything have to do, sometimes it doesn't work like that. But you don't know that it will work or if it won't work if you don't work it. And so we don't want to live a life of regrets because we say, I wish I would have. A lot of times we put things off when we have kids, when we have husbands, when we have wives, when we say we have careers. But I'm going to tell you, it's good, when you have a job or a career, but when you have a calling and you go after that thing, that it tops the other two. No job and no career path that you can go on can outweigh when you're walking in your purpose, when you're walking in your calling, when you're walking in the reason you were created. So when you think about, your life, and you think about what you have done and what you're not doing, what you want to do, desire to do, what you have dreamed of doing. Ask yourself, am I doing that? Am I doing the thing that will make me happy? Am I doing the thing that will bring me the most joy and peace? Or am I doing what I am expected to do by the people, what I'm expected to do? You got to look at it. It's your life. It is your life, and it is no harm and it is no foul for you to live the life that you desire if it is in the will of God, despite the people that do not like it. So I encourage you not to live a life of regrets. Do not live a life of regret. You're living the life that everybody else think you should. You're living the life of a traditional life. You're trying to follow a family path. Good morning, Belinda. Thank you so much for joining. Or are you going to step out on faith, simple faith? Are you going to step out on simple faith to say that, you know what, this is the life path that God has created for me, and I'm going to walk over this bridge, and I'm going to go on the other side, and I'm going to see what he has over here for me. It is not to, to cause any conflict or problem with anybody else, but it's your life, one that you will be regretful for, because people don't be regretful for talking you out of doing things that you knew you wanted to do. So I am encouraging you this morning to live the life of your dream. Write down on paper what it is that you want. Start taking the action steps to take you toward that thing. Don't keep just doing stuff to say that you're doing it. Don't keep doing stuff to make people happy when it's upsetting you and it's not making you fulfill. It's not making you feel like you have joy. It's not making you enjoy life and have a peaceful life, but you're pleasing everybody else. I was thinking on yesterday that, sometimes people, and even on this morning, people will put you on their agenda, overlooking the agenda that you have for yourself. They don't care what you got going on, as long as you can do what they want you to do. They don't care what you're doing. And you've told them what you got going on, but they think you're supposed to stop what you're doing to do what they want you to do. You got to think about it. Do people not take you serious? Do they not feel like you're busy? Or do they simply think what you're doing is not important? But you have to stand up and say, hey, you have to be the one to say no. You have to be the one to say stop, because people will try. They will try to pull you off track while they stay on track. They'll put you on track with them to help them get what they want to get faster while you're getting behind. So you have to take control over what you're doing. You have to consider that it is your life. And if you do not want to live a life of regret, stop letting people pull you in directions that you are not even heading in. You have to know that sometimes when you're on a path, you going where you're going and doing what you're doing, you may see people and see things that you were not intending to see. And sometimes you have to say, this is not the time. I will have to catch up with you later, because I was coming here, but I wasn't expecting to see you today. I wasn't expecting to discuss this now. I wasn't expecting to do this in this moment. So stop allowing people to get you off track, because that's why you have not made it where you have been heading for a long time, because every time you get ready to go there, somebody pull you in a different direction. Good morning, Elegance. Thank you so much for joining. You on point. You are on point time with this one. You helping me. Amen. You are on point. Yes. You have to know that people will pull you on their path while your path is depleting. But you have to make a decision to say that I am not heading that way right now. I am not going that way. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Hazel. Thank you so much for joining. You have to stop letting people pull you in 7 other directions when that was not the way you were going. Because if you continue to go the way they want you to go, you will never get to where you headed out to go. You would never get to your designation, but you will end up at their destination, and you will never get to what you were trying to do, because you're doing what they want you to do. And then you will find yourself on your deathbed with a life of regrets. Even when you're sick, before you get to the death part, you're sitting there when, a lot of older people, They sit up, and as they're sitting there by themselves and as they are alone, they wish they would have done. They have done for their grandkids and their great-grands and their great-great-grands. They put this to the side. They laid this over to the side. They didn't do this and they didn't do that. And then when those people, those same people that they put all their self to the side for, they ain't nowhere to be found. Come on now, somebody. Good morning. You are on point, right on time with this one. I meant you good. You good. You are helping me. Amen. You got to think about, stop putting yourself to the side for other people. And then when you need those people, those are the people that you can't find. You can't call. You can't depend on. You cannot look to. You don't, I mean, those are the same people that look at you crazy, telling you that they don't have time. And you thinking, I didn't put all my stuff to the side to help you, and now you can't help me. That's why a lot of people, they feel the way they feel, because, and then when they're in a situation, they'll feel like, you know, everybody that they help, nobody is there to help them. But do you know the people that you help the most are the least likely to help you back? Oh, y'all not gonna talk to me. When you help people, you got to really help them with nothing, with no expectation of return on help. Because most of the time, the people you help the most help you the least. Yeah. They act all crazy. They act all crazy when you said something about helping. They get to acting, they get to telling you they got an agenda. They tell you they own something. They busy. You know what I'm saying? And you thinking, now all the time I stopped doing what I was doing to do what you want me to do. But you know what? It's not their fault. Can I be transparent with you? It's not their fault. It is not their fault. We got to blame ourselves. Nobody can make us do anything. And I know we think that we can help everybody. We want to love everybody. We want to be there for everybody. Good morning, Sandra. Thank you so much. Some of us, that's just the way we are. But on the other end of the stick, we get the shorter end of the stick. We get the hottest end of the stick. Come on now, somebody. Come on now, somebody. We get the hottest end of the stick. We get the shortest end of the stick. And then we start feeling some type of way in our feelings. And then we'll tell ourselves, you know, I ain't helping nobody else. I'm not helping nobody else because there's nobody there to help me. And then guess what? When the next person comes, you let them pull you off your task. This is the season for you to say, look, this is the season for you to say, no, you're so right. You stepping on some toes now. Go on, teach. Yes. You got to know that. You got to know that. When you are on agenda, good morning, Mary. Thank you so much for joining. When you are on agenda, you have ones that are assigned to you to get you off task. And their name is called distraction. They want you to be distracted. They want you to be distracted. They will distract you with things that is not going to take you closer, not going to get you there faster, that's not productive, that's not value added, that is not making you no money, but they want to have you distracted. You have people that are assigned to your destination to distract you from getting there. They don't want you to see what's on the other side. They don't want you to get the prize. You know, you said we get the prize. They don't want you to get the prize. They don't want you to see you with the joy. They don't want to see you living in peace. They don't want to see you happy. They want to see you confused, distracted, and living a life of regret. But you have to say no. You have to say no. This is my life and I'm on this path. You don't have to be ugly about it. You don't have to be sarcastic. You don't have to be funny. You just have to be transparent. You can be sweet as pie with it. But you have to say that this is my life. And a lot of times we live a life that people want us to live when they don't even like their own. People try to critique you. They try to direct you, guide you when they don't have a good guide. They don't have a good gauge. They don't have good direction on their own life. Good morning, Apostle Eric. Thank you so much for joining. We have to make sure that we have a gauge on our direction. You don't want to be all over the place when you should be going south. You don't want to be heading north and east and west. You're going to have a good gauge on where you're going. And when you have a gauge on where you're going, when your focus is before you, it's not behind you, it's not to the left, it's not to the right. Good morning, Robert. Thank you so much for joining. You got to say, where's my focus? Because when you stay on focus, you can stay on track. And when you stay on track, you can get there. You can get there. People may not understand why you move the way you move. People may not understand why you do what you do, but when the outcome come in, we must examine ourselves before we approach somebody else. Amen. Because see, sometimes, Apostle, we advise other people on what they should do when we haven't figured out what we should do. I need somebody that's already done it and to tell me, what they did. I don't need somebody that's in the process of learning. See, you don't have to be that far in front of somebody to give them the next step, but you need to make sure that you've taken some steps. You can't be sitting on your front porch advising what's not going to work when you haven't been. You haven't tried it. You haven't did it. You haven't been open to the opportunity. You have not been open to the possibility. Some people would shut some things down and they have not tried it. So this morning, as I get ready to get out of here to get my day started, I want to encourage you today to go after your dreams. Do not have a life of regrets. You don't have to wait until you're on your deathbed wishing that you would have tried something, wishing that you would have explored something, wishing that you would have expanded on something. If it keep coming to you, you got to know that you got to do something with it. Because see, those things that do not let you sleep, those things that you lose track of time, those things that you love to do that you would do and don't get paid to do it, you need to be doing it because they coming up to you for a reason. And guess what? You're not going to rest and you're not going to leave here. You may be up in age before you do it, but you can't leave here until you do what you came here for. Y'all not going to talk to me today. You are not going to leave here until you do what you came here for. It doesn't matter how fast you run, how far you run. It doesn't matter what direction you run. But if you're not running in the way that you should go to the place that you should end up in the end, you can't leave here. Look, if you're new to me, this is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated. I'm known as your procrastination strategist, behavior change expert. How am I the procrastination strategist? Let me just tell you, because for the last 24 years, I own my time. I don't just manage my time. A lot of times we say, we do time management. Time management is good, but you got to have time ownership because see, you can manage your time doing things that you don't have no business doing. You can manage your time, you can manage the amount of time that you're going to watch TV, but you have to take that 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds, the 168 hours that you get a week, and you have to own it, because if you don't own it, everybody else will. If you don't own your time, everybody else will, because they want you to do this, they want you to go here, they want you to be a part of this, they want you to participate in this, they want you to do this and do that and do this and do that, and you find the things that you need to do, you can't get done because you've ran out of time, because it is limited. You only have 1,440 minutes in a day. You have to take some time out for you. You have to take some time out for you. And we have been on this 1% challenge, and 1% of your time is only 14 minutes and 14.4 minutes. But if you wanted to bump it up a notch and say, okay, I'm going to take 2% of my time, 2% of my 1,440 minutes is 28.8 minutes, 28.8 minutes. So if you wanted to round it up, just go on up to 30 minutes, put 30 minutes into yourself today, put 30 minutes into your study. Put 30 focus minutes will make a world of difference. Time ownership, that's good. I've got to get there. Yes, stop allowing people to pull you in all different sorts of type of direction, helping them get closer to your goals when you're getting farther from yours. Because see, when you're traveling north and you should be going south, you getting closer to something and somebody's stuff. It just ain't your stuff. So look, I'm getting ready to get out of here. If you need a coach, mentor, you're interested in the Empowering 8 Inner Circle, join us. Join me in the Empowering 8 Inner Circle. 30 minutes of focused time will make a world of difference. 30 minutes of study, 30 minutes of meditation, 30 minutes of visualization, 30 minutes of affirmation, or you can mix it all up. You can do about 7.5 minutes of all meditation, affirmation. You can put a mixture of all of them and watch how it makes a difference in your life. So if you are not improving, don't think that you got to have a lot of time. You just got to have some time. and you got to make the time to do what you got to do. Stop saying, I don't have time. You set the time to the side and you do with what you can with what you have left. But your first priority should be you. So don't live a life of regrets because you're doing things that everybody else wants you to do. You're fulfilling their agendas and all of their obligation while you're leaving theirs to the side. So this is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated. If you're looking for a coach, mentor, you want to be a part of an amazing inner circle, join us. If you hear the testimonies of some of those that are part, and I know we have I see some Empowering 8 sisters on here. The experience is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. And I'm going to say this. A lot of times we look for the deep, super spiritual, we look for those things that's so complicated and they're statistical and all these different sorts of types of things. But can I help you? Can I help you this morning before I go? Because I gotta go. Let me help you before I go. It is not the big things that's going to make a world of difference in your life. It's going to be the small things that you already know, but you're not doing. Can I help you? It's not those things. It's not no big secret. It's not something you ain't seen before, you ain't heard before. It is not even something you haven't passed by before. But see, sometimes they so small that we overlook them. Sometimes they so small we forget them. Sometimes they so small we act as if they're not important. But when you start putting pennies together, you'll get nickels. When you put pennies together, you'll get nickels. And the nickels come to dimes, and dimes come to quarters, and quarters come to 50-cent pieces, and 50-cent pieces become dollars, and dollars become fives, and fives become tens, and tens become 20s. You hear me? 20s become 50s, and 50s become hundreds. And guess what? Hundreds, they become hundreds of thousands, and hundreds of thousands become millions, and millions become billions. Don't overlook the small things, because he said, never despise small beginnings, but it's the small things that we overlook. So we will go pay a lot of money for the big thing and do nothing with it, but we'll overlook the little things that's going to get us there. It's what you do, is how you think, is what you put your time in every day. It is not the big thing that's going to move your needle, but it's going to be the small steps that's going to get you to the top. God bless you, and I pray that you have an amazing day. Stop sitting back just looking and start doing something with what you're hearing. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later.